Hello, good afternoon, everyone who all are joining in and who may join later in the session today. This is your host, Himanshu Kaushik, and I heartily and sincerely welcome everyone in today's webinar on exploring the role and opportunities of postgraduates in education. And before we know what are those pathways we can have while pursuing education or while having a degree in education, we're being joined by an expert here. So please welcome Dr. Vijay Kumar Chechi. He is a professor and a deputy dean from Department of Education, Lovely Professional University, and he's having more than 21 years of experience in the field of education, that is a teacher, and he's completed his MA in economics, MA and already qualified UGC NET JRF, and has PhD in education. His areas of expertise are educational research and statistics, measurement and evaluation, and educational technology as well. He has guided more than 78 dissertations at MA and MPhil level by now and has 8 theses at PhD level. Presently, is guiding 8 PhD students, and he has already published 125 research papers in different national and international journals. And he's having books wherein, out of which 15 are in Scopus listed journals, and he's already edited 3 books by now and has presented 40 papers in different national and international conferences and seminars. He has remained in administrative position for about last 17 years now, and he has been taking roles in different capacities, for example, as officiating principal, vice principal, HOD, etc. And presently is taking care of School of Education as deputy dean, and as head, he had led the team of faculty members ranging from 15 to 40 already. He has been instrumental in successfully designing the curriculum of various programs at School of Education in LPU, that is Lovely Professional University, of course, through the conduct of curriculum development and review workshops and in the Board of Studies. And last but not the least, he's already organized 9 conferences, which includes EduCon and GTTE, RECO, and many others. And he has already conducted 10 workshops on SPSS application in different colleges and university. He's also conducted workshops on use of Excel in statistics, scale construction, and standardization and constructivist-based lesson plans. He's also been a part of several competitions and organized basically those competitions for the students. For example, Gyandeep 2015. And along with this, he's also delivered as guest. He's been invited as a guest and delivered guest lectures on various topics of interest. He had undertook various committee works like examination, placement, alumni, academics, counseling, and the list goes on. So today he will be actually helping us and giving a little insights about what we can pursue after taking education as our stream. So, sir, I welcome you in the session here.
Thank you.
And over to you, sir.
Thank you, Himanshu. Today, as the session talks about that, we are going to talk about the postgraduate programs in education. So, just enlightening on the same, what are the different programs that are available in the field of education? That includes the MEd program, integrated B.Ed. program, and the MA education program. These are the 3 programs that the person can do in the field of education if he wants to have a postgraduate program in education. Now, basically, the B.Ed program is generally done by students, those who have already completed the B.Ed program. They can only go for the MEd program. But still, if somebody is just a graduate, so he can do the MA education program that directly, which is equivalent to the MEd program. And the persons, those who are already postgraduates in different basic disciplines in sciences and arts or commerce, they can go for the integrated B.Ed. MEd program. So these are the 3 programs that are there for the students, those who want to go for the postgraduate program in education. The focus of all these programs are equal, because all the students, those who are coming out of these programs, have the same opportunities in terms of the career uh, in the in the society. So just talking about in terms of the MEd program or integrated B.Ed MEd program or MA education, we have the different profiles which we want to pursue. For example, there can be the persons going into the school teaching, into the university teaching, as well as the persons can go for the research positions, and finally the positions are available even in the NGOs and also the industry. So there are different opportunities that come across with respect to the career in the postgraduate programs that are there in the field of education, right? So coming up further, starting with the different opportunities that are available. So I am going to talk about the careers that will be coming up as a result of going through these programs. So one of the basic phenomena that we will be understanding is the TGT, or the teaching positions in the school sector. That is the first and foremost, the B.Ed MEd integrated persons, or that is students, are going to go for is the teaching position, though. And that teaching position, because being the MEd or MA education, because these qualifications lead to the person eligible to become the principals. So as a result of going through these programs, I am not talking about the entry level position for the teaching, but also the senior level positions, either as a coordinator or as a subject matter expert or as a vice principal in the school. But that all depends upon the person's eligibility as well as the requirement of the organization. Because if I talk about the principal, vice principal position, the minimum 5 years of experience is expected by the schools for a student. But yes, there are private organizations to just focus upon the efficiency or the skills of the individual, and they hire the individuals in the for the position of the coordinator or vice principal from among those who are already qualified as MEd or MA in or MA education, or they are B.Ed MEd integrated students. So this is the one of the basic profile that is that one person can go for. Now if you go into any of the job portals, you will find that there are very high end salaries, even at the starting level for a persons with the coming up with the MEd program or the B.Ed MEd integrated program, because they are generally eligible for the the secondary senior secondary level teaching, and hence the salary expectations are very high as compared to the that the person is having. So this is the one of the main requirement. And if I talk about the senior positions, so it will be definitely going even up to the position of 1 crore. So going up the ladder, I will be the this is the first position that we are going to talk about. The another position that are the postgraduates are going to go for is the position of assistant professor or the research associate. Though this is the one we have given the profile, two profiles into one, because the major skills that are required to either become the assistant professor in the universities or go for a research project fellow or the research associate position in the university, the qualifications required are similar, as well as the skills required or the entrance requirements are similar. So this is the second profile we are going to talk about, that is assistant professor, that after completing the program, the persons are eligible to go for the assistant professor along with the qualification for the UGC net and the PhD requirement. And this is all going to be there as a one requirement. Then we have the another aspect, that is what we talk as the psychometrician. Now, this profile is generally not looked upon, but industry provides this, and is the all the persons those who are having the good understanding of the research and statistics are going to use this profile, and this is very highly rewarding position, because the salaries can go for even above 1 crore. So that is the kind of the profiles that the postgraduates in education can go for. So, and even if I talk about being the industry position, at present we are not finding in the positions for teaching, because the COVID is over, or the assistant professor positions or the research project positions in part-time mode, but or work from home mode. But the psychometrician positions are always available for from work from home. So if even if the American companies are hiring you, they will be giving you a very high packages of even 2 crore, and you can even work from home from India. So we are going to talk about these profiles in detail. So starting with the first thing, that is the teaching. And teaching in the schools as well as in the colleges will be requiring at the school teaching, that one of the major requirement is that your teacher eligibility test shall be qualified. You must have a postgraduate degree, just like we have the in the basic subject, just along with the med. And you must have a postgraduate degree in your basic subject. Then you should be a good communicator with the having adequate computer skills, and also having the knowledge of the child psychology, and with good ICT proficiency, understanding of the Bloom's taxonomy, and the teaching learning process. And finally the assessment skills in the keeping in one of the basic thing is that you must be able to that he must have this understanding of all these things, so that he may be able to come up correctly for the position. So one of the main requirement, that rest of the things can be prepared from the program, but one is the benchmarked examination that every student who is going to go become a teacher had to go for, and that is the teacher eligibility test. And the programs at LPU are well mapped with the in terms of that you must be able to qualify the teacher eligibility test either at the state or the center, and your qualification should be coming up in order to become the qualified teacher at the school level, because without that you will be considered for only the ad hoc positions. You will not be considered for the regular positions in the central teacher eligibility test. They do not conduct their own state level test. There are such states also, whereas there are other states wherein the state teacher eligibility test is also conducted. So this is one of the main requirement, and the students from LPU are already qualifying this test, when we have more than 90% of the students passing out in 2020 had cleared the CTET examination. Then the another aspect is that is the coming up for the TGT as working as a, because it is not just that you can work as the PGT teachers, that if you have do not have the basic subject post graduation, so you can also work after pursuing the med or MA education or B.Ed med integrated program. You can go for the TGT positions also, and you can likely go for the higher order positions in terms of the coordinator and the vice principal by just looking for the TGT position. Then finally we have the this I have already explained in terms of the PGT. Then another important aspect is the computer skills and the communication skills. So that is very much important, because the too much of knowledge or too good in the knowledge but not able to communicate is not a good teacher, is not a good person coming out of the of programs from education sector. So this I would focus upon, that the teachers shall be good in communication as well as in the computer skills, and they must have a very good content mastery. So if they want to communicate correctly, the LPU programs are fit enough, because this provides you opportunities to enhance your communication skills. You are good in becoming making the contents clear, and you are good becoming proficient in the use of MS Office and the other ICT skills. Then the ICT skills that will be including your MS Office, your Google Suite, then also we are talking about the digital marketing so that you should put yourself as a brand. And also we talk about in terms of artificial intelligence as a course and how the artificial intelligence is changing us. And finally, the e-content development, that using of the Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Sony Pro, all these softwares in order to create an image content with image editing or the video editing or the graphics editing, and that help the individual to create good learning resources for his own use as well as for the circulation. Then the understanding of the knowledge of the individual differences, because till you are graduate, you are B.Ed, you have understood the child psychology to some extent. But when you are a master's in the program, you have undergone the program of masters, you will be having a very wide understanding of the learning process and the teaching process, and how the learning psychology works into the classroom. What are the different techniques to identify the individual differences, how to guide, how to counsel the child, what are the theories of managing the teams in the schools, the educational administration, how does it work, and what type of new educational technologies are coming up in the field of education, so that we may be able to work more closely in terms of developing our school infrastructure to the new upcoming generation. So all this is possible with the help of the understanding of the of going through these programs. Then the ICT proficiency, as I had talked about, the Google use of Google Suite, PowerPoint, Google Forms, Google Docs. Then we have the MS Office, PowerPoint, Access, then the documents, then Excel, advanced Excel, because that is also one of the major things. Then apart from that, the school management software, ERP solutions, which are used in order to handle the school system, that are just like we have the systems for Fedena software, which is being utilized by the most of the schools in order to in order to make the database for every time of solution. Either it is a fee, or it is the auditing kind of thing, or the management of the different items in the school, or the keeping up the records of the school infrastructure, etc. All these things are created with that, with the help of that. Along with that, the Adobe softwares as well as the Google Suite kind of things I had already discussed. Then we have the understanding of the Bloom's taxonomy that becomes more clear when we are becoming up at the MBA level, because we are not just able to uh, do the school teaching, and how we are going to use these Bloom's taxonomy in terms of as a teacher for our in the classroom, but also we are able to guide the teachers that how to use Bloom's taxonomy in their classroom, how to plan their lessons. So that ability comes through the master's programs in education. Further, the learning process becomes better clear to the persons, and also we are able to work about the different kind of learning assessments that are possible, and we are able to guide also our teacher that how to perform these things, and we can become a resource for the other persons. Then secondly, the second profile of the teaching goes into the assistant professor, because when we are going through these programs, we are eligible to become assistant professor if we qualify the UGC net, and that is the main requirement of this skill set of even if we wanted to go for research associate, it is always preferred that if you have a UGC net qualification, you need not to go for the entrance exam to become the research associate or going into the PhD program. We will not be able to work in if we are not having the UGC net. So UGC net the only condition that is required at present, and even if in the government sector we are able to go with that. The second thing is what is developed through the program is the research competence and skills, because enough emphasis is given and the more focus is given on to use the case based teaching and the softwares and skills that are based on the practical aspects in order to develop the research skills of the students, and also the not just the theoretical aspect, even if the data analysis is required, so that is also there with on the softwares, not just the practical and manual analysis that is done with the help of the excel, but also how to enter the data and how to get the data interpretation done from those softwares is being given in the hands-on experience are given on two softwares. For example, the excel, advanced excel, another is the spss, amos, even up to the amos, wherein you will be learning about the structure equation modeling and other things, and confirmatory factor analysis, which is the added advantage of the curriculum at lpu. And apart from that, we are also making the training into the R Studio, which is the open software for the data analysis. So that is the added advantage at the LPU, that you will be having hands-on experience to use these different data softwares, tools, applications in your program. So as a result, you will be able to have quite good understanding, and we even allow the researchers to earn it by having the good understanding of statistical analysis, so that they may be able to generate their revenue by guiding others for the data analysis. So that kind of a competence we are developing at the Department of Education at LPU. Then further, the leadership abilities, because I have already said that the educational administration, educational technology, the guidance and counseling, all these courses program or even the course on educational leadership are there in the programs, which help you to understand the nitty and gritties of how to handle the teams and how to go in with the administration at the school as well as in the industry or in the university level. Then finally, you are able to analyze and evaluate the curriculum that is there. So this all help you to become a good project fellow, good research associate, as well as the assistant professor, either in a university or in the college. And you are going for these positions in both the government as well as in the private sector. So this is the focus of the program that allows you to go into that. And if I talk about the UGC net qualification from last year also, all the students, those who are part and parcel, those who have appeared into the UGC net qualification, they have qualified the UGC net examination, making it 100%. Education are going into the and so that kind of job opportunities shall also be available. So for that, we have tie up with we are going into the tie up with the Mercer Metal, which is we have started with, and we are working on the psychometrician positions. Even the internships are being offered therein with the organization as and when it is available from that. So we are looking into that, and we are working in with more number of organizations in order to provide you for the position internship, so that they may be going into the future role of assessment expert, of the psychometrician, or we can talk about as an educational planner. All these kind of profiles required you have a good understanding of psychometrics. And how you are going to go with that, that is going to be understanding of the statistical operations, what kind of data that is going to be generated through psychological assessments, good understanding of research methodology, that how you are going to work on the different data sets, and you should have a good knowledge of the different softwares that are used for the analysis. So for the SAS is there, SPSS, RStudio, Python, SQL, Word, and Excel. So apart from out of them, we are making you to have good training on SPSS, RStudio, as well as Excel. So these are the techniques, these are the skills that you are going to learn at the School of Education, which will be helping you to go into the field as a psychometrician. This is the qualification data of the CTET last year, wherein we have achieved the 90% rate of qualification. These are the students, those who have qualified the UGC NET this year in the and this is the achievement of psychometrician that I have talked about, that the student has worked on a paid internship of at the rate of 18,000 per month at the Mercer Metal, and that is, and he has worked as a psychometrician therein and trained himself for the nitty and gritties of the profession. So this will help him to also go in future as a psychometrician in different organization. These are the different virtues are giving you the idea that how our students are successfully working after completing their PhDs in different organizations, and because it takes time to complete the PhDs. This is the placements of the last year, that those who students all who those who have opted for going into the placement have been able to achieve the placement, and we have achieved an average of 100% on the PG programs at in the Department of Education. Now, I would like to request you, if you have any questions related to the understanding on the postgraduate programs in education, so you can have your questions written in the chat box so that Himanshi can take up, and I will be able to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I would also want to request, if anyone has any query, kindly write in the chat box or Q&A box so that we know that you've written and we can take them up. Or you can just raise your hand so that we can allow you to talk to our expert and can have a discussion directly. And meanwhile, sir, I also want to say thanks for you. I mean, you've come here and given this presentation. But this one thing, sir, I just wanted to ask. I mean, considering the time that we are in and the place that lovely professional university is, that is Punjab. So most of the people would want to go foreign, right? Like in Canada, US, etc. So would there be opportunities for students who have passed out from the education domain to go in foreign and join? And if yes, then what they can join and how?
Basically, the education is one degree wherein which is in demand all over the world. It
Right.
depends upon the certificate, because most of the times, if I talk about the Western world, or even if then we have talked about the US and the Canada, the subjects they are looking for is
Okay, I think
and
so.
these places.
Okay, okay. So you were actually stuck. I mean, we could not hear the last 3 or 4 seconds. What were you telling?
Okay, okay, right. I will repeat. Since there is a drastic requirement of science teachers in Canada and US as well as in the West, so the education students are in demand in these places. So one of the requirement is, because once you go into the B.Ed or M.Ed program, you are just required to, if I just take the case study of Canada, you have the certification of just 3 to 4 months there. Apart from the degree that you have already here, you can work there and as the teacher in their different places, and they are able to get in the even the government jobs. So that is the one case study of the Canada. If I talk about the US also take the our degrees in consideration, and the people those who have completed the B.Ed from this place are going into there, and they are taking up the admissions in higher order programs also, as well as they are taking up the positions in the government as well as private organizations. So
Yeah.
it depends upon the subject, even because the social sciences, the contents are related to the state or the national level, so generally that is not considered. But yes, the other subjects are definitely into demand, and the people are eligible to go in there.
Yeah, definitely, sir. And I totally agree. I mean, if students can come in here and university, you would not only get the degree, of course, I mean, you would get that, but the expert advice and a navigation or a pathway, so that you can excel and have an astonishing career in whichever degree you choose. And so with this, I also have one query. So there are many conventional ways that students do choose, like for example, after passing out, they go for the jobs and they might join university, and the options that you were telling. So this is one question that I was actually thinking of, is there any entrepreneur opportunity also for the students to, let's say, not just opening the school or not just opening an edtech company, but other than, you know just like I have seen teaching requirements are there in the companies as well, like different companies wherein they want educators. So is there any entrepreneur opportunity for students, where they can lead themselves and other people also?
If I just talk about, because most of the time there are trainer positions in the corporate sector, and
Right.
a person good in communication skills are always preferred in the corporate sector to train them, because the last time when I have talked about the instructional designer position, wherein the content creation is there. So the teachers are very good content creators. So in the all the corporate area, corporate organizations, the positions of content writers are there. And if I just talk about the entrepreneurship kind of a thing, so most of the time, um, setting up a edtech company is very big thing that we are talking about. Yes, that is also one of the opportunities, but entrepreneurship as a solopreneur is one of the thing that we promote at our department. We ask the students to have their YouTube channels, and even the blog writing is being advised, and we train them on the blog writing, so that they may be able to write their post and share it, so that they may have the revenue